Dan Campbell, which means heading into year 3 under Dan Campbell, it's go time. Can you win a division? Can you get a wild card spot and fight and win a playoff game? And what... Guys, I asked this question earlier about Zach Taylor, and I would like you to honestly answer it. And it may be too early, but I think it's fair to at least start the conversation. What do the Detroit Lions look like under Dan Campbell and his peak? Now, if you sat up here and said, oh, Super Bowl, I don't think that's fair to him or to even bring that up. But can he win you a division? Honestly, given the quarterback situation, I have zero confidence across the board. Jared Goff. Jared Goff is the quarterback, guys. The Bengals won not because Zach Taylor is, he's offensive minded. I like Zach Taylor. Don't get me wrong. They have Joe Burrow. Guys, who are the quarterbacks in the divisional round? Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow. Who else? Ryan Tannehill, but it's Tennessee. They're that's what you're building to be like. A good defense, good run game, throw effectively on play action. So there's your outlier. And the NFC, who is it? Kyler Murray or Matthew Stafford? Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Jimmy Garoppolo. There you go. And you have Jared Goff. Seriously. You think you're going to end the playoff drought with Jared Goff as your quarterback? Okay, fine. I believe you can make the playoffs with him as a quarterback, sure. I believe next year you could win 8-9 games. Sure. That's fine. I can give you all of that. But what are you doing at quarterback, Detroit? You can like Dan Campbell all you want and Brad Holmes. I always tell you this, and it is the truth whether you like it or not. Get the quarterback right, everything else can fall into play so much easier. You give me the GM, the head coach, and the defense, but I don't have a quarterback? It's called the Cleveland Browns. So here we are. Year 2 for the Detroit Lions under Dan Campbell coming up. And why I asked the question about Dan Campbell's peak, Maddie, is we're in Detroit. Answer honestly. Did we see Jim Schwartz's peak? Yes, we did. It was 10-6. And it was nowhere near contending for the division, and they couldn't win a playoff game. That was his peak. Jim Caldwell. What was Jim Caldwell's peak? Was it 11-5? Record-wise, you could make the argument, yes, factually, 11-5 was the peak. But I don't think it was, given how talented that roster was. That roster under-delivered. And then in the 3 years following, 9-7 seemed to be the peak. So you saw the peak with your coaches. That's why you moved on from them. Not because you were winning games, you were winning divisions, and you were like, yeah, you know what, we're going to move off. No, it's not the case. It's just not the case. Jimmy Garoppolo, by the way, is very uncomfortable to stare at. He's extremely handsome, and I have a problem with it. He is extremely handsome. I would consider leaving my wife for him. Not joking. Guys, did you see the post-game interview?
He's very pretty.
He is
very pretty.
He is sexy. He's not pretty. Jesus Christ. How does a man look that good? And he plays quarterback? Unreal. Jimmy G wins on and off the field. Unreal. Anyways.
What are we talking about
I don't even know how we
today?
got here. I read a comment in the chat. I don't know what happened. Let me get back to my
First
point.
we're talking about sunglasses. Now we're talking about pretty quarterbacks. Should we rank them?
I don't know how we got
that.
here. I don't know how we got here. But again, back to my point. What does Cincinnati have to do with the Detroit Lions? And what does Cincinnati, guys, this is a question for everybody in the room. What does Cincinnati have right now that the Detroit Lions do not?
A quarterback.
There you go. It always starts and ends with the quarterback, whether you like it or not. The Cowboys lost yesterday. Yes, I'll get into the details, but the fact is their quarterback did not play well. Jalen Hurts did not play well. They lost. Mac Jones, 2 interceptions, did not play well. They lost. Ben Roethlisberger sucked for all of his life. They lost. Who else? Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Derek Carr doesn't suck. But the fact that the Raiders are even in the postseason is a miracle, so I'm not even going to dog on him. But Jesus Christ. The Lions may very well win 10 games next year. They may very well win 7 to 10 games with Jared Goff as their quarterback. But can you win the division? Can you win a playoff game? Can you host a playoff game? I brought this up earlier last week, guys. What is the definition of success? Is it strictly winning a playoff game? No, I don't think that's what Lions fans are too upset about right now. I think it's show us you're a legitimate team. How are you legitimate? Win your division. Start there. Treat the fans to a home playoff game. Win a game. Try that.
Yeah.
Baby steps.
I don't even think when it comes to next year that we're looking at winning a division. It's just show us that you can actually win games, like consistently, that you're actually a good team, not that it's like, oh crap, we actually won a game? This is great. I love this. We want to be able to consistently win games. I mean, obviously we want to win the division. Once we win the division,
the Packers haven't won a Super Bowl in 11 years.
Yeah.
Their fans are not up in arms. And they have Aaron Rodgers. Fans are willing to be patient, and they're very understanding if you give them a consistent, deliverable product. Mike Tomlin hasn't won the division every year. He's been a coach for 15 years. He's won it 7 times. Mm-hmm. So every other year, he's not winning the division. Which means what? He's finishing 2nd, 3rd, 4th, whatever it may be. But, there's levels to this. It's beyond just winning a playoff game. It is showing your fan base that you can put out a product on a consistent basis.
Yeah.
And speaking of putting out a product on a consistent basis, how do you expect Jared Goff to perform once the marbles are on the table? Once it really matters. Again, the jury is still out on Dan Campbell. This is not about Dan Campbell or if he can coach or not. Time will tell. But is Dan Campbell Sean McVay? You saw what Jared Goff's peak was with Sean McVay and that team. Do you have Todd Gurley, that offensive line? I could make the argument you have that offensive line. Do you have the secondary players that they had at the time? Do you have Aaron Donald? Do you have the safeties and the linebackers that the Rams had? Do you have the coaching that the Rams had? So, given all those variables that we don't know you have or we know you don't have, you really think you're going to win a lot of games with Jared Goff? Even when the team is good. And I'm nervous for Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell if the decision is we're going to continue in the future with Jared Goff. That's concerning to me, Maddie.
I agree.
And that, for me, is what may be my downfall.
The problem, though, is when are we going to get a quarterback? Because if
we have Jared Goff.
Shut up, Fish. Because next year,
I think it's 2023.
If we start winning games, we're not going to have a high draft pick.
Sure, but you can trade up your 2 first-round picks and a future first for a top 3, top 5 pick.
Yeah.
So you could do it if you wanted to.
Right.
The opportunity is there. But you can't miss on the quarterback. I mean, welcome to life, guys. Oh, well, Joe Burrows don't grow on trees. Really? You sure about that?
What was your 5-word from last week?
For the Lions?
For the quarterback?
Oh, what was it? Quarterback issue? Join the club.
Yeah, exactly.
Or need a quarterback? Join the club. Whatever it was.
Something like that. The point's still there.
You need a quarterback? Everybody wants a quarterback. That's why they're taking so